Rohan and Aisha had been searching for the perfect home for months. When they found the old house on the outskirts of town, they were enchanted by its charm. Tall windows, high ceilings, and an overgrown garden. The agent warned them it had been empty for decades, but they didn't care. They moved in with their 6-month-old daughter, Arya, excited to start their new life. The first few hours were perfect. The baby slept soundly, Rohan and Aisha unpacked boxes, and the house seemed welcoming. But as night fell, an uneasy feeling settled over the place. Shadows seemed to cling to corners, stretching unnaturally. Rohan woke to a faint creaking sound in the hallway. He dismissed it as the old house settling. Aisha shivered, whispering, "It feels wrong." Over the next few days, small, unsettling events began. Baby Arya's toys would be rearranged when no one was looking. Doors they locked would be open the next morning. Sometimes faint giggles echoed through empty rooms when Arya was asleep. The couple laughed it off, attributing it to exhaustion, but their unease grew. One evening, Aisha was preparing a bottle in the kitchen when she saw a pale figure reflected in the window standing silently behind them. When she turned, no one was there. That night, Arya began crying nonstop, staring at the corner of the room as if seeing someone invisible. Whispers followed. At first, soft murmurs repeating the baby's name, Arya, Arya. Then voices grew louder, calling Rohan and Aisha as well. Attempts to record the sounds failed. The tapes captured only silence. It was as if the house itself had its own memory, alive and watching. One night, Rohan awoke to Arya crying. He rushed to the nursery, only to find her crib empty. Panic surged as he noticed tiny footprints across the floor, leading toward the basement. He grabbed Aisha and followed them. The basement was pitch dark and cold, filled with old furniture and boxes covered in dust. At the far corner, a shadow crouched, silently observing. Suddenly, a soft, eerie lullaby began playing from an old music box they hadn't seen before. The shadow moved closer, revealing a hollow-eyed woman whispering, "She's mine." Arya giggled, reaching toward the figure. Rohan and Aisha froze, their hearts pounding. They grabbed the baby and fled upstairs. The house reacted violently. Doors slammed shut, windows rattled. Shadows stretched across walls, moving unnaturally fast, chasing them silently. Arya, usually calm, began laughing at the shadows, pointing and babbling in a way that made the couple's blood run cold. That night, the terror escalated. The lights flickered constantly. The lullaby played from the music box at random intervals. Objects moved on their own. A rocking chair creaked across the living room floor. Arya's toys formed strange patterns around her crib, almost like a circle. The couple barricaded themselves in the bedroom, holding the baby close, but every shadow seemed to follow them. Over the next 2 nights, the house's presence became overwhelming. The couple could hear whispering footsteps in every room. Mirrors reflected figures that weren't there. The walls seemed to breathe. Arya's crib moved slightly on its own, as if rocking in response to an invisible hand. At one point, the pale figure appeared again, hovering silently over Arya while the couple tried desperately to sleep. Rohan tried to confront it, but the figure vanished as soon as he approached. Every attempt to leave the house was blocked. Doors would lock on their own, windows wouldn't budge. The house wasn't just haunted, it was alive, and it didn't want them to escape. Finally, on the 5th night, the activity reached its peak. Shadows darted across rooms with terrifying speed. Objects flew without cause. The lullaby from the music box filled every corner, louder and faster than before. The couple realized the figure wanted something from Arya. Rohan and Aisha, terrified for their daughter, decided to confront the basement one last time. Descending into the basement, their flashlights flickered. The walls were covered in scratches and messages. "She belongs to us. Never leave." The hollow-eyed woman appeared again, and this time, multiple shadowy figures surrounded her. They reached out for Arya. The baby, surprisingly calm, smiled and reached back, as if recognizing them. Rohan grabbed Arya, shouting at Aisha to run. They sprinted upstairs, the shadows chasing them. Doors slammed, lights exploded, the air thickened with cold and whispers. Finally, at dawn, they burst out of the front door. The house fell silent behind them, still, as if nothing had happened. They packed immediately and moved far away. Even years later, Arya sometimes points to empty corners and laughs, whispering, "Come here," in voices no one else can hear. Rohan and Aisha claim they still hear soft lullabies at night, echoing faintly from somewhere far away. Locals say the house stands abandoned, waiting, watching, and anyone who enters may never leave untouched. Some houses aren't abandoned, some are alive. Some never forget, and some take what belongs to them.